Hey y'all, Damon Whitfield, physical therapist with Harbor Springs Therapy and Wellness. I'm out here at the Point during the summer with some people doing some physical therapy and some personal training along with Glenn and Holly. And I was talking to a couple of people, and with the new addition we had last summer, there were some questions about some of the equipment and especially how to use this cable machine here. So I thought I'd do some little videos just explaining some of the stuff. We're not doing like specific workout stuff. You can ask any of us and we can work with you on a specific program, but just more how to use the machine, how to set things up, and give a general idea of how to work this and a couple of the other things. So let me know if y'all got any questions. Thanks. All right, so several different things for adjustments here. For the handles and the weight stacks, there's two weight stacks you can work independently. Two people can work at the same time, or you can work two different exercises. There's also things we can attach a bar to both pulleys so we can do stuff. Adjustments, pretty self-explanatory. There's a little knob behind the pulley here. I usually tell people to hold on the bottom underneath the pulley as you take the pin out, and you let that up and down. There's lots of different adjustments. You know, get all the way down to the bottom, all the way up to the top if you want. And I usually tell people to give it a little jiggle, make sure that it's in there before you let go or before you start pulling on it. With the big weight stack in here, it tells you what the weights are. Starts at 2.5, goes all the way up to 97.5. If you look up top here, there's two 2-pound plates that you can add because they go up from like 2.5 to 7.5. So that's a 5-pound difference. You can add a 2-pound plate. If you just undo it from the top and slide that down, that'll add 2 pounds to whatever you've got on the weight stack there with the different exercises you want to do. So everything's got the little D-rings on it. We've got a long handle and a short handle here. You can do most everything with one handle. There's not really a benefit to the long versus the short. It gives you a little more room if you need that for some of the exercises. But you just attach the handle up top, and like I said, this set of pulleys swings 180 degrees, so you can step all the way out if you need to. You can step in here if you're going to use both of them, like to do a fly. Like I said, always make sure that you support the pulley as you're moving the pin back and forth. But you can do lots of different stuff with the handle, whether it's the shorter handle or the longer handle. Single arm stuff, double arm stuff. You can step with it. You can do all kinds of good stuff with it. And the three of us have all kinds of different exercises to do. I can do a whole full body workout with just this handle, doing all kinds of fun stuff. And again, just support the pulley as you pull that pin out to let it down if you're going to go down to the bottom. And I always give it a little pull to make sure that it's in there before you start doing any heavy activity with it. So the handles, like I said, there's one for each side. You can use the long handle, the longer strap handle, or the shorter strap handle. Next, we've got our ropes here. We've got a two-handed and a single-handed. Again, you can do lots of the same stuff. Isolating more with the single handle, obviously. This you can use both hands. Benefits to both. Typical tricep push down with the double handle where you're pushing down like that. And just a little tip, when you're doing your triceps, if you lean a little farther forward and start here and push down, that's going to isolate a little more than standing up and pulling like that. It's good exercise, works your shoulders, but if you want to focus just on your triceps, get that back, start here and push straight down. The benefit with having the two handles is you can push out and get all the way straight and flare those wrists out, gets full elbow extension. as opposed to just pushing down where you're not all the way straight. Get out like that, okay? And like I said, you can use the single rope to do the same thing just with one arm. You can do the same thing if you just want to isolate one side, which again benefits to all that stuff. Just easy clip in, clip out. Those are the ropes. And we've got a straight bar that has your grip on there, but that doesn't have any movement like the rope ones do. So you can use this to do all kinds of different stuff. It gives you a more secure grip. It's going to be harder to do certain things, but anything that you're going to push, pull, I'll have some of my fishermen actually do this because it simulates holding a rod. You can do curls, you can do presses, you can turn, works a lot of the wrist and forearm stuff, working on your follow through with golf or tennis. Having that stability like a club or a racket as opposed to the single rope or the double rope, which allows you, again, that more range of motion and increased stability. The little narrow grip clip goes in the middle here, and again, keeping your grip narrow and having this handle to do like a row. You could raise it up and do a lat pull down. You could even sit down or go down on a knee and work on squeezing. Again, this type of stationary handle is going to allow you to move more weight, but you're not going to get as complete of a range of motion if you're letting your hands out. If you're doing that same, we're kneeling down and reaching up with the set of ropes, you're going to be able to get all the way out, get those arms out and squeeze and pull down and adjust your position, as opposed to the handles here. Your hands aren't going to be able to move any more than what the handles allow. Again, depends on what you're looking for: more weight, more stability, more range of motion. So I've got just the regular handle here. And again, use this like you're going to do like you would use a lat pull down bar. You can lower this down and do a regular bicep curl with it. Same thing as, using a set of dumbbells or a regular barbell. You can do all kinds of, use this as a straight bar, and you can do some resisted deadlift type stuff with the angle of pull there. Make sure you have good form when you do that. But that's the little straight handle for you. So we got a little small grip handle here, stationary handle. You can use a lot of stuff with this as well, but same type of thing. Everything just clips in up there. You can do your triceps. Again, you could probably push a little more weight with this type of handle than the rope, but you're not going to get a full range of motion. This is going to give you some stability, but you're not going to get a full range of motion. You can't get those wrists locked out and the elbow locked out to get that full extension, but you can do a little more weight. So depending on what's important to you and what phase of your programming you're in, either would be beneficial. Lots of different stuff. You can take it down to the middle. You can sit. You can do a little narrow grip row. You can turn your hands up and isolating position for the biceps. Again, you can do all the same stuff with this handle that you're going to do with the ropes. This just allows you a little more freedom of movement. So you've got to create a little more stability to use this. You can do your bicep curls like that. You can do your tricep push downs. You can do a row. You do all that stuff with this, and being a stiffer handle probably will allow you to move a little more weight, so you can go heavier, but you're not going to get as full and a complete range of motion. Not saying it's better or worse, just notice the differences and knowing what you're going for. If you want to get a full range of motion, if you've had a problem before, you might want to go with this with a lighter weight. If you're not having any problem, you're just trying to get some extra weight, use this one, okay? So in a lot of gyms, you've got the ankle straps that you Velcro around there, and you can do different things. Here we've got this kind of three-way strap. It's got a buckle and a couple of attachments on here. If you look at it like this, it's got one of the ones coming down here. You're going to put your heel in here, and then you're going to buckle around the front of your heel. So you step down, put it in there, snap it in, get it tightened down, and then you've basically got a ring in the back, a ring on the bottom, and a ring in the front. That way you can attach the pulley to whichever area you want to work different things. So we can attach to the back and pull to the front. You can attach it on the bottom, and you can do a hamstring curl where you're lifting up like that. You can do that. You can attach it to the front and do other stuff too. You can hold it at the front and do your hamstring curl. You can hold it in the front, kick to the side. It allows you a little more versatility than having just the one little ring from just a strap that goes around. So pretty cool with that. And it is always easier to attach this to your foot and then attach the weights to it. Don't try and adjust it and switch feet with the cable still attached to it. Not going to end well for you. Now we've got a straight bar that's got the holes at both ends, so you can use both sets of pulleys to do whatever your exercise is. You can do pull downs. You can put the bench in here and lay down and do bench press. You just have to adjust the pulleys where you need them. And usually I tell people to have the bench in here first before you do that, so you can position it so you know where the weight needs to go. The cool thing about having the pulleys here versus a regular bench or dumbbells is that you can adjust the weights. You can have, I've got 17.5 pounds on this side, and I can put 27.5 pounds on that side to do whatever I want to do. Say I want to do a pushing exercise. I've got a whole lot more weight over here than I do over here, but if I've got to push out in the middle, I've got to create a whole lot more stability. There's a whole lot of stuff we can do with this with golfers, a whole program we can do with that, with offsetting the weights. That's what's really cool about this. Like I said, we're not going to go through specific stuff because it depends on what your needs and issues are, but like I said, any of the three of us can help design a program with that. Make sure, though, that before you go to lift, push, pull, whatever with the bar on here, that both of these are secure in their position. So the TRX is another really popular one. Fantastic full body workout, no equipment. Take it to the hotel with you, hook it over the doorknob. We've got several of them out here. So we've got the handle, a loop for when you do stuff with your feet on the ground, and the adjustments for the strap. So a little buckle here. If you push that, and that'll pull down. It's got the little yellow tab. I think, the black straps have the same type of thing. To adjust it to go back up, just push that, pull the yellow tab up, and both sides, there was a little bit of play in there, but typically I try and get the buckles even. Don't necessarily go by the tab up top because that can slide up and down. So I try and get the buckles even whenever I'm going to do an exercise, okay? Again, I won't go through all the specific exercises. I've got stuff on my YouTube channel. I'm sure Glenn and Holly have stuff. They can design a specific program for you as well. But whenever my general rule with people is you want to think about your end position with an exercise. So what I mean by that is that if I'm going to do a squat and I stand here and squat down, all right, I can go farther back, I could go farther down, but that's kind of all the room I've got. When I come up, I don't get to come all the way up. So I'm gonna step back, adjust my feet. All right, here's my end position here. So now I'm gonna squat down and back from there, get a lot bigger stretch, a lot deeper motion, allows me to pull all the way up. I don't get pulled off balance and all that good stuff, okay? Like a bicep curl. If we're gonna do a bicep curl, I'm gonna gonna start here, I'm gonna end here. If I'm too far back, I'll get my arms out straight, but to come up, it's gonna pull me off balance, or I don't get a full range of motion. So my end position, usually keep your elbows about eye height. So my end position is here, so I'm gonna let myself out from there and pull up. Because normally, if I just was gonna do one, I would just let back here and curl. Well, that's not the right way to do it, but I don't have a full range of motion here. So start with that end position. So here's my finished position for my bicep curl. Hands overhead, elbows about eye height, adjust my foot position. Now then from there, I'll let out and pull up. That's basic stuff with the TRX. Like I said, we can do a full body workout, all kinds of cool stuff. There's all kinds of stuff on YouTube and different people's channels that just do TRX stuff, but I just want to give you the basics on how to adjust it. So then you know when you're looking at specific exercises, what you need to do to adjust to get into that position. If you're going to get down on the ground and put your feet in there, I usually just grab both clips, come down, usually pull them all the way out. You want the straps about a foot from the floor. So if you're in somewhere with a low ceiling and you let them all the way out, that's a little closer, you just bring them back up. And then it's easy just to get your foot in there into the one strap, and then you get in the other strap, do whatever you're gonna to do there. Like I said, lots of different stuff. But typically, once you get your toes over the edge of the strap, that leaves pretty secure for you to do whatever you're gonna do. Sometimes you'll want the your whole foot in there. If you're gonna lay down and do like a bridge or a hamstring curl, you get your heel in there. And as long as you've got the strap back behind the heel of your shoe, it's pretty good. I haven't fallen out yet. Some people that, if you work out without shoes on, I'll tell people to put their whole foot through here. Normally it fits, but then you're just absolutely sure that you're not gonna slip out because you don't have your shoe for the strap to grip on. You can just put your whole foot back there and it just rests on the back of your heel and your Achilles tendon. So that's the TRX. Another really cool thing is the ripstick here. It's over in the corner by the pulley machine there. It's TRX colors, orange and yellow and black. And you've got a resistance band basically with a clip at the end and a stick with the two handles to it. You can hook the carabiner to just about anything. Over on the pulley machine over here, we'll take and put the full weight stack on there, and you can hook this to the ring over there in different positions, so it's not gonna move, and you've got an anchor point. But I'm just gonna take it and wrap it around the wooden beam here in the gym, and you just basically attach it to itself, and then you can position however you want. So I've just got it wrapped around there. I've got the resistance coming here, and again, tons of different stuff you can do with this. Having the resistance coming this way and having handles that you're going to produce force with this way, pushing, pulling, counter rotation, all kinds of cool stuff with it. You can hold and do a little side lunge with it, and having the resistance coming from the side with having handles like this, as opposed to like at the pulley system, holding a handle out in front, doing a side lunge where you can move and turn. This you're going to move and turn differently, and having that, my inside hand pushing against that weight, this hand has to move and stabilize, so you get both sides of the core. You can push, you can pull, you can get staggered stance, and all kinds of fun stuff here. And again, once you get the basics with something, whether you're working with one of us, you're watching videos or doing something, once you get the basics, then you can adapt and figure things out for what you want to do, whether it's golf, working on your follow through, keeping your hips still, working on your shoulders more, working on your hips more, keeping your shoulders still, working on tennis. We can undo the handles here, or undo the stick so it's shorter, and you just have one handle that you're using to do, we can do stuff for follow through with tennis, forearm, backhand, all that good stuff. And like I said, it's pretty versatile. You can put it, clip it around anything. You can take it around the tree outside. We've got pull-up bars outside you could attach it to up high. We're going to put clips in on the posts outside so you can hook it down low and do things like that. Really cool. Like I said, you can do a whole workout with just the ripstick. It's pretty awesome. Another big question is the rowing machine. Lots of different opinions and ideas on the rowing machine. I think they're great. The one we have here, it's got a manual resistance. It's a fan resistance over on the side here that opens and closes the fan. So it's got, an arbitrary 1 through 10 level. So adjust that before you start. You've got all your electronics up here. You can go for distance, you can go for time, you can set paces and all that kind of stuff. That is all individualized, and there's a menu in here that'll take you through all that. First thing is adjust your foot pedals here. I usually just open up the straps all the way, get my feet in there, make sure your heels are at the bottom of the straps, and your toes should be about at the top of the plate. So if you need to adjust that, you just lift up and slide the little pads up and down, and then it's got a number on there. So obviously lots of people are using this, so you can know what your number is. And then once you get that, you get your feet in there and tighten down the straps. Now your heels are meant to move a little bit. Your toes you want to keep pretty tight in there though. So you get them in the middle, pull those straps down, reach up, grab your handle, and your rowing motions should start from your heels. So you're not leaning and pulling here and then pushing back. You come forward, drive through the heels, lean back, and then pull your handles up to about the middle of your chest. You come forward, release, push through the heels, pull through the hands. Reach forward, push back. If you imagine looking at me from the side, imagine a clock with 12 o'clock at the top, 11, 10, that way, 1, 2, 3, that way. Your travel from your body should be from about 11 o'clock to 1 o'clock. Shouldn't be a whole lot more than that. There's specific reasons we do where you really lean forward or really lean back, but typically your back should be relatively straight and the movement comes from your hips, not your back. So you're not leaning forward and leaning and arching the back like that. Your back stays straight, and you're leaning from the hips to about 11 o'clock, push back to about 1 o'clock. Forward and back. And making sure that your shoulders stay down. I see a lot of people whenever they go to pull back, they're pulling way up here and their shoulders are up, elbows come back, and that bar is coming up to their chin. Bar should come to the bottom of the breastbone, around in that area. Elbows out, shoulders down. So reach forward, drive through the heels, back and pull. If you start to pull, so we've got the catch and the pull. When you get down to the catch at the bottom of your stroke, that's like where you'd be putting the paddle in the water, and you go to pull. If you get a little, and that's a little uncomfortable on your back, if you're feeling that in your back, either your resistance is too high or you're starting to lean before you push with those feet. So if you get that where you get forward and you go to start to come back and you feel that in your back, make sure that you're driving through those heels. You're trying to push your heels through the pedals as you come back and get going. So shoulders stay down, elbows come back, you're leaning from the hips. And the more you do, you'll get a little more aggressive and you'll go faster, but everything should start through the heels as you push back and pull with the hands. That's the rowing machine. All right, so that's just a couple of things to go over here at the gym. Like I said, I just wanted to go through some basic how to set things up, some basic movements with things, how to adjust things. That's, you know, by no means meant to be a one-size-fits-all workout program for anybody. The couple exercises I demonstrated are just in general. Don't take that as gospel or for your specific condition. It's my legalese covering my butt. But like I said, Holly, Glenn, and myself, more than happy to help give you tips and tricks, work out with you, design a program, answer questions. I've got other videos on my YouTube channel on specific exercises if you want. But if you've got something specific here you want to see, I'm happy to video that as well. So reach out and let me know. Thanks, y'all.